up? All right. It's Double Deuce back. Today we're playing with the V12 again. This is a 2-year pilgrimage on this with the Hall sensors and stuff. So I discovered something, and I was kind of surprised. But then again, hey, a lot of surprises when you're working on stuff like this. So grab your favorite smoke, beverage, and popcorn, and hang out with Double Deuce today, and I'll show you what I discovered. So, I have been through many a weary months of ignition boxes and Hall sensors and all this stuff. And I know the Hall sensors are iffy when you get them. I did kind of dive deep into that without using AI, okay? And I found out that they make different stages of Hall sensors. So, the ones that I've been buying were just your regular run-of-the-mill Hall sensors for switches and stuff, and the heat range is very low. It's like minus 70 to, I think, 85 degrees Celsius. Then I discovered if you buy the automotive or military ones, which are the A3144 or an L3144, they come with a heat range of minus 70 to 140 degrees Celsius. Now, one thing I did discover on these distributors, they get wicked hot. They get about 200 degrees. So you break that up into Celsius, so the 140, that'd be like 285 degrees Fahrenheit. So those are in here now. Now I have shielded all these Hall sensor wires. I have separated everything. And then I was taking the distributor apart, taking the rotors out and all this stuff, cleaning these things here. You see the rotors. Now you see on the back, they got 6 magnets, okay? And what I discovered is, when I had this thing together, I was trying to figure out, this is my dead side, okay? This one here always fires. So when I would get the thing running, it would run for a couple of minutes and then it would start, the RPM would start dropping, and then it would just run like crap and die. Wouldn't restart. Both Hall sensors were junk. I couldn't figure it out. So I determined the Hall sensors to be not in the right heat range. But then it was weird because when I was putting this together, I took this rotor from the side that's good, and I put it on this side, and guess what? It fires. So, I did a magnet check. Now, I've taken this cap of this rotor off here. Okay, they're only super glued on. But if you do yourself a favor, and I put a little notch right there, and it matches up with the glue-on part of the rotor here. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to line up where they meet, okay? And you'll notice too, I use the set screw side to do it. So, took a razor blade, peeled this off. Now I can see in here that the magnets, you can just pop them right through. And so I dug into what kills a magnet. So, the 2 main things that kill a magnet, one is heat, too much heat, which I don't think the 200 degrees that these distributors, Fahrenheit, that these distributors are becoming, I don't think that that's killing the magnets. Another way to kill a magnet is striking it. So I'm kind of wondering if they went a little overkill when they were tapping these magnets in here. And there's only like one, and make 2, I should say. 1 strong pulse, 1 weak pulse out of these 6 magnets that are in here. Okay, so I got online and searched and searched and searched. Now here's what I come up with. I found these magnets, and I was really surprised on how cheap they are. These are 200 magnets. They're 3mm by 2mm, and I thought I measured these out to be 3mm magnets by 2mm deep. So I figured, oh, I have it. But these they look a little big. But you get 200 magnets for like $7, you see? And they're all stuck together. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to punch out these magnets. And if I have to, I will resize the hole and super glue these new magnets in, the strong ones. And I did buy some 4mm by 2mm magnets too. Just because when I run a screwdriver across this, a magnetic screwdriver, I get a nice solid spark. If I run, say, this magnetic screwdriver over it, it's very weak. So I'm thinking stronger magnet, even if it's a little bigger in here, will take care of this. And that right there, I could move on with my project. So what I'm building out of this thing, you're going to see, it's been set like this for 2 years. You know, it runs, dies, runs, dies. I do have the supercharger. I got the supercharger on it running with 2 carbs. But then it goes back to this, the distributor, no spark. So my plan on this thing is making a 20s, 30s, early 30s style race car, you know, with the spoke wheels and all that stuff. And so anyways, I took a chance on different things. I bought a radiator for this thing it's small but thick. You can get these on eBay. You just search PC cooling, you know, like computer cooling. So I got a nice skinny thick radiator, okay, and you can see it's Freeze Mod. That's the name of the place I got it. But super thick, super small, and it will take place of these big radiators that we're putting on here. So the reason I got this is because I want to make a small grill fairing around this, like a Model A Ford, you know, and or Model T. So that's the plan for that. And see, I've been collecting all this stuff, and I make jokes, and I put them in my WTF box, because when things ain't working right, and I have bought all the stuff for a project. I bought this stuff over time, a long time ago, and I would just put it in that WTF box until I could get this running. Once this is running, they'll come out of the WTF box, and then the build will start. So right now you hear the fan blowing in the background, the AC's running. It's like, you know, another 90 some degrees today, and we've had a pretty hot week last week. There was over 100, a couple of days, and then like upper 90s, mid 90s. Well, we had a 4 or 5 day stretch of sweat. But so one thing I do want to get to, and I will grab these things and come right back over here, because I want to show you something that I got that's totally out of the realms. I found these wire Pro-Line wheels. They're a quarter scale for the Losi Promoto MX bike. Now these are steel spokes. I didn't get the tires I wanted. I had to buy these. I just stuck them on. They're not glued yet. But these are a true to life looking spoke. So if you can kind of picture what this is going to look like with the front and the back tires, try to give you guys a visual of where I'm going with this. Now, I could also go as far, you can see, yeah, that ain't gonna work. You see what I'm going here? I got the wire wheels, early spokes, and I'm gonna make one of those Widowmaker death trap race cars they had. Now the cool thing about these Promoto wheels, you can buy these in plastic and all that. Actually, the tires I wanted were the Hot Laps because they had tread on them that looked like, you know, your 1920s and 30s thing. But when I got these, I seen, hey, you know what? These kind of look like a race slick, so this will give this more of a early Indy car appearance. And so I'm planning on buying the SCX 6 frame to make my frame for this engine, for these wheels. I'm going to buy the 1/14 scale Tamiya front drop axle, and I'm going to have to stretch that a little bit. Now the rear end, I haven't figured out where I'm going to go with that yet, because if I want to, it has a chain sprocket here, and you can buy the chain and sprockets and all that stuff for the bike. And I thought about, I could make it a chain drive like the early cars were. They just had a straight axle through them with chains on each wheel, you know. That would be pretty authentic. And I could also, I guess, rig up disc brakes for the front. These are rear wheels, so they're kind of, they got the wide spokes in them. The fronts are real skinny. I don't know if the front rotor will fit this hub or not, but it's a bigger rotor, and you can buy the aluminum style calipers with the pull wire. Now on these earlier cars, they had a steel rod on some of these things. I remember we used to beat through the woods in a couple of old Model T trucks and stuff, and they didn't have hydraulic brakes. They had you had to stand on that brake pedal for it to pull those rods to stop that thing. So I don't know where I'm going with that yet, but I know I'll probably slip in some kind of a disc brake on the drive shaft in the back. Now I was going to make this a gearbox back here, but I think I'm going to go with a direct drive off the clutch for two reasons. One, it's going to save me a lot of time trying to figure out shift points and all that stuff, and two, I don't know how well these spokes will hold up to some rigorous torque and, you know, high-speed shifting. So, but for now, you know, it's out of the WTF box and it's on the table again. And as soon as the weather breaks a little bit and I get my knee working a little better than it has been the past couple of days, you'll see more progress on this build. So now to show you these rims, they actually have screw-in adjustable tightening spokes. I'm not going to use the axles or these the bearing. I'll probably use the bearings as support, but I'm going to run an axle right through the back, and on the front I'm just going to run a long axle with the bearings with a nut, and I'll probably put some kind of cap on there to make it look like the early Model A's. Now another thing is when you get these wheels, okay, these are directional, so I had to put these up in this is the forward direction. Now these have slots in right there, and there's also a guide pin in here, and you just like slide these in and you'll go right through the pin, and then turn it a little bit, there we go, it locks in and slides in. So you can change the tires, you know, that's not a big deal, and you can change the rims, you can adjust your spokes. And so I was kind of surprised because this is a pretty good size for quarter scale, and I'll give you a measurement on it, because you know I have to sit there at night with my favorite smoking beverage reading the sizes of all these tires when I do a build, a scratch build. Okay, so this is roughly, I would say, 6.5 inches wide, tall. Okay, and the width on these are about 1.5. So it's about 1.5 wide, 6.5 tall. So to give you some idea, if you want to do a scratch build and you want to use stuff like this. Now, here's the thing. These are being discontinued, I found out. I just seen this. Now, when I bought these rims, they were 16 and change, 17 bucks a piece for the rims, which is a super deal for what the, you know, for aluminum and spoke, real stuff, not plastic. Now the tires, I think they were about 18, 19 bucks a piece when I bought them. So I do know I got these right off the Horizon Hobby website. I just got on there and they were on the discontinued section. So if you want some, get them now. You know what I mean? Even if you aren't going to use them, you put them in a WTF box, you know? And nobody knows what that means. It's what the, you know what. And so now it's out of the box. And it's going, hopefully, once this engine's running, I will have a frame made, a fuselage made, and give me that 20s, you know, race car that I'm looking for. That's supercharged with dual carbs. So, anyways, guys, like I say, you can go to sterlingkit.com. They have, I guess, this version of the V12. They don't have the wheels and stuff, but all your parts and stuff, your engines, the LS52 engine is pretty amazing. Okay, and I'm gonna have to figure things out here because I would like to get myself one. So right now I'm just bucks down, and until I get back on my feet a little bit, I'm playing with the stuff that I already have to keep me occupied. And once I get a little scroll, I'll see if I can grab one of them. And they do have the Sisson 44. So you got the Sisson LS52 and the Sisson 44. So those are pretty good engines. And also, not to throw it out there, but the Toyin V8, I know it's a stickler to get running. I've had it in my monster truck, and I tell you what, I have a lot of fun with that thing. I haven't done a lot of filming because it's too hot. I'll take it outside and run it for a few minutes, and it gets hot. So I got to put a bigger radiator in it. But those are the things you can upgrade. You know, once you get your base core build done, then you can always upgrade stuff. You know. So, anyways, I'm gonna say hi to all my fans out there, and thanks for supporting me. You know, the dump truck thing, I kind of threw that out there. That was kind of a different avenue, but I've had that truck for over 10 years, and you know, did I need a dump truck? No, but I did. So, anyways, like, share, subscribe if you want. Love to all, and I'm gonna stay cool in here and keep playing. So, adios.